Alright folks, I just finished the old paper route and I got gas at the Husky because Husky divides by 3 and the colors are red, white, and blue, which divides by 3. But the best part is the price of the gas is 123.9. So everything that happens is by Divine Ordinance, and I also filled up, I'm serious folks, I filled up at pump number 3 and I put in $15, which is God's favorite number for the number 3, and pump divides by 3, gas divides by 3, gas stations divides by 3, and Husky, the name of the gas station, divides by 3. Bookended with 33. And then it's got a 30 plus 21 in the center, 84 in total. So, but the price of gas is 123, like 123.9. Like it doesn't get any better for the number 3. I'm just saying that everything that God is doing in this valley and in this world and in my life is ordained for this whole story that is playing out of maximum mathematical 3-fest for the glory of the Trinity, okay? Including the fact that Nike equals Kubi, my last name, divides by 3. And swoosh divides by 3, swish divides by 3, and orange divides by 3. Anyways. Okay. But preferentially, I'm going to put on a white t-shirt because I don't feel like toting any one brand while I preach. And so that's what we're going to do right now. So, I got a bunch of words from the Lord, from Jehovah. Isn't it amazing how we have to break silly habits just from speech? It's not the Lord, it's Jehovah. Jehovah, Jehovah, Jehovah. Okay. I'm probably going to go through this fast right now, and then we'll go through it in more detail later. But just a ton of words from God. Just rest. Love. So the ST is common in both, and then the 4 letters in the front make love exactly 54, composed of 15, 18, 21. Going up in 3s. Just rest. God said that to me yesterday. Perfect. Remedies. All remedies glorify the Trinity. 18, 18, 18 equals love, plus 24 on the end. Here are 3s. Dead ahead. I just asked God for more words and more perfect letter phrases. And I got this phrase, dead ahead. You know, stare dead ahead. Even stare divides by 3. Stare dead ahead. Dead ahead, that's to 33 perfectly in 9 letters, and you get 9, 9, 9 plus 6. Dead ahead. And what's cool about dead ahead is all the letters are so very low in value. The highest value of any letter is the H, which is 8. The rest are 4, 3, 1, 4, 1, 8, 5, 1, 4. Like, I challenge you to find a 9-letter phrase that adds only to 33 and is accomplished, you know, is that cool. Like 9 letters that add to 33. And it is a really cool phrase. Dead ahead. Like, boom. It's just so focusing. It's like, look dead ahead. The Bible talks about that. Let your eyes be fixed before you. Awesome. Oh, by the way, this is a huge personal gem. The thermostats in this coach house wherein I live are branded with these letters. OULET. Which is 27 plus 30 plus 33. It's too obvious for the number 3. Equals 90. And I'm going to show you right now just by pulling the video camera off here and showing you. There they are. Every single one of them. And there's exactly 3 of them. It's just occurred to me. There's one right there. There's one in this second room right here. And then there's one. There's my word art for God and love. Just word art divides by 3. And then there's one in the bathroom. So 3 oulets is 3 90s, which adds perfectly to 270. The same value as the 4 directions of the compass, north, south, east, and west. This equals 90 by Divine Ordinance, folks. And you find a 27 plus 30 plus 33 in that. 3 teams balanced around 30. Of course, when you look at these dials, it ends in C. C equals 3, and it basically goes up to 30 degrees, because 15 is at the dead top center, and that's in fact where I leave the temperature most of the time, is dead 15. So it's obvious for the number 3. It's just perfect. It's too perfect for the number 3, and I got 3 of these in this coach house. I'm just telling you the details of what God has ordained in my personal life. There's our artwork there that we were led to do. Love Marathon divides by 3, and the $33 I got for my 33rd birthday. So it's awesome. Just you don't have to fear. Like God is in control. Divine Ordinance, sovereignty. Okay, perfect. So that's cool. I'm all ears. This is a word that I spoke to God. God, is there anything you'd like to say to me? I'm all ears. I'm all ears. That's to 90 perfectly in 9 letters. That's insane. I mean, taking us back to this 9-letter phrase. Remember, dead ahead? This was a phrase I got from God. I just asked God, what other words do you want to give me? Dead ahead. Dead ahead. Well, look at how gorgeous this gem is. Like I said, it makes 33 in 9 letters. This phrase, I'm all ears, makes 90 in 9 letters. That's like nearly triple the value of this. All these letters are so low in value. It's such a unique phrase. Like, I'm telling you, try your hardest to come up with a 9-letter phrase in English that adds to 33. It's not easy. Very cool. So I'm all ears equals 90 in 9 letters. And you can find a 24 plus a 24 plus a 42, just like this divine gem up here, free will. 24 at the front, both letters divided by 3, 24 at the back, same thing, 42 in the middle with 33 plus 9. 24, 42, 24, and free will. I'm all ears, 24, 24, 42 as well. 24 LL, 24 ear, the rest make 42. Furthermore, in fact, it's just occurred to me, I'm all ears. Like, I'm amazed at how I get words from the Lord that are completely different in their content, but the numbers are totally identical, and just proves that it's all. So free will, you've got 33 plus a 9 to make the 42. Well, that's the same thing with I'm all ears. You've got 33 in the word Sam plus the 9 in I. So the divine phrase free will is 24 plus 24 plus 9 plus 33. And the divine phrase I'm all ears, I'm listening, is 24 plus 24 plus 33 plus 9. So both of them obviously add to 90 exactly. But in the breakdown, like in the actual teams of threes, they're identical. Free will and I'm all ears for the glory of the Trinity. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so this is one of the biggest words from Jehovah that I have gotten. Trust in me alone. And God has been saying this to me over and over and over again. And He has been weaning me off of things that I have been unwittingly putting my trust in my life up until this period. Trust in me alone. Jehovah. Okay? And we're going to do the math now because it divides by 3. All these 3 last letters are plus 2. And then the rest of the beginnings of all that divide by 3. And then you can put substitute Jehovah in for me because both divide by 3. So trust in me alone. Trust in Jehovah alone. Divides by 3. And that means you're literally trusting in God alone. Like, you are not allowing for your own strength or your own resume, your own skills, your own connections, humans, whatever. No, you are trusting in Jehovah alone. That is when we are living by faith. When there is no other way for it to happen except from God. Trust in Jehovah alone. Trust in me alone. Okay. Another phrase from Jehovah. Walk closely with me. Walk closely with me. What that means is listen for my voice every step of the way. Listen for me. I will tell you what to do next. Listen for me all day long. That is walk closely with me. Okay. And then walk and closely knit together with the K and the Y. And then these prefixes divide by 3, 3, 3. This is an awesome word from the Lord. Every stroke, because we count every stroke in all of these gems to get the numbers of strokes to the glory of the Trinity. Well, the word stroke itself is king, because there's love right there. T-R-O-K-E equals love. Perfectly. And then the S is +1 in front, and then if you have multiple strokes, you have an S +1 in back, but the gold of threes is in the center. Love. And God has been telling us to find 54 equals love in all the phrases that we have. And then you can, the T, the E, and the K knit together plus the 33 makes, the T, the E, and the K is 36. Oh, sorry. Hold on. This is, good thing I always check things. 16, so that's 36. Yeah, so it's love plus 15, so it's just like Jehovah. So the gold 8 equals 69, which equals Jehovah, which equals love plus O, which is even better, okay? So the T and the K and the E and the R make 18 plus double 18, which is love, 54. And then you've got the O at the dead center, which perfectly parallels Jehovah with an O at dead center wrapped in love. So that's the glory of the word stroke. Even better, perfect. Okay. Beholding beauty is a divine gem from God that divides by 3. And it's an obvious one because it starts with B-E, B-E. What good is beauty if it's not beheld? Behold beauty. It's an obvious pair that divides by 3. You can have a beautiful plant sitting in a room of your house that you never go to. Well, what good is that? The whole purpose of beauty is it's supposed to be beheld. That's when it's actually beneficial. Beholding beauty. So divides by 3. This is an awesome gem from the Lord. My royal one. And God called me this. And He calls all of His children this. You are my royal one. Because when you're adopted into the family of God, that makes you royalty. Look at how royal one is pure 15s. 15 plus 30 plus 15 plus 15 plus 30. 15 here, 15 for an O, 15 for an O, 30 points here, and 30 points here. So that's literally 15, 15, 15, 30, 30. You cannot ask for more. Royal one. And then, hearing from me. These are words from Jehovah. You hear, so the personal voice of God divides by 3. You hear divides by 3. You hear the personal voice of God. Yes, we do. Hearing from me or hearing from Jehovah divides by 3. The bookends knit together, and then just gorgeous. You get, like, it's obvious here because this makes 24 triple 8. This makes 24 triple 8. This is 15. This is double 15, and then the bookends knit together to make 33. Hearing from who? Hearing from me, Jehovah. And then here's an obvious parallelism. Just rest, guest first. This is a slogan that I saw at Tim Hortons when I was led to go there because Philly steak panini adds to 201 perfectly. New Philly steak panini adds to 243. We're probably going to get a video of that sign today to show you how God is ordaining gems to crop up right close to where we live, like just right here. Jehovah is on my side equals the same thing, 201. So guest first, 2 ST words, 72, 72, just rest, obvious. These are words from God. I am your maker. God will say, I am your. Okay, and that divides by 3 with 3 plus 1s, and then these all divide by 3. I am your is 39 plus 948 plus 54 is 102. The first 3-digit number divided by 3. So I am your maker, I am your husband. Now this is so cool because God will say to you, I am your husband. And then He will say, you are my whatever. You are my, and God said this to me. I am your Boaz, you are my Ruth. What does that mean? It says, I will be your provider. I will be your financial material provider. I am your Boaz. You are my Ruth. That's God speaking to me. God says, Derek, I am your Boaz. You are my Ruth. Perfect. Happy relationship. I'm happy. God's happy. He's rich. I need him. Perfect. Okay. But let's add up you are mine. Because this is really huge. This is so huge because obviously these words can change like crazy in the back. But over and over God will say, I am your boo. And then he'll say, you are my this. Because you are something to God. Isn't that cool? Like God is everything to you, but you are also something to God. That's cool. So I am your is 102. You are my is 63 plus 36. 99 plus 24 is 123. Wow. I mean, these are both kings. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Now this is stunning. And then so when you add those together, you get the famous 225, which equals 15 times 15, which is precisely the full birth name of the monarch of the British Empire, Queen Elizabeth. 225, 15 times 15, good night. It is officially perfect. I am once again flabbergasted, satisfied, blown away by my God. I am your Boaz. You are my Ruth. And read the story of Ruth and Boaz if you don't know that story and what that means. Boaz is the financial provider for Ruth. Okay, and better yet, he ends up being the husband of Ruth. Like they are wed together. And that is our relationship with God. We as the church are wed with God. Like we are wed, locked forever with God. So we're going to add that up to Boaz and Ruth because that's a divine word from God. So we're not going to miss this here. But marvel already, like these are two kings for the number 3, 102 and 123, because this is the first 3-digit number that divides by 3, and of course this is 123. And I started this video by telling you that today, by Divine Ordinance, I put gas into my Toyota Matrix car that I delivered newspapers with this morning at a Husky station. Husky divides by 3 on pump number 3, and the price of gas is 123. Right now, in Langley, British Columbia, Canada, what's the date? It's like March 22nd or 23rd. The price of gas is exactly 123.9. It is the 23rd. It's a great day for the number 3. Okay? I insist on showing, well, take my word for it. 23rd is the 9th prime, 3 times 3 of the 3rd month. It is 6:27 a.m. Okay? And so these are both kings. Well, when you put 102 plus 123 together, you get 225, which is good night. That's 15 times 15. And I always say that is the full birth name of the monarch of the British Empire, Queen Elizabeth. And that's why she is the queen. It's for the glory of the Trinity in world history. Miss 15 times 15 herself, stamped on every single coin, and the $20 bill all across Canada, and of course all the British pounds and the currency of the British Commonwealth. And more importantly, it's the fact that she is the monarch. So I am your, so now back to, and now count the number of letters between those. I am your, so they're a divine combination because I am your is 7 letters, and you are mine is 8 letters. Well, lo and behold, put 7 plus 8 together, that's 15 letters. Glory to God. So I am your, and you are mine, adds to 15 times 15 and 15 letters. So the average value of each one of those 15 letters is 15. And I am led by the Holy Ghost to do specific things. Like when I bought gas this morning, I bought $15 of gas. Exactly 15. The $10 and a $5 bill on the counter to the man at the Husky, $15. because I know 15 is God's favorite number, essentially, for the number 3. It's the dead center of his name Jehovah, O, and the dead center of his name God, O, holy, love, O, 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 15. 3 times the third prime. 5 being the third prime. So look at, so I am your plus you are my is 7 plus 8 letters, 15. That adds to 15 times 15. That is incredible. So these words, first and foremost, belong to God. I don't want you to think about these, and God has been speaking to me about this, about everyone needs to be in love with God. So God will say to you, it's always God. Everything always starts and ends with God. God will say to you, I, remember I is 3 times 3. God, that's his favorite word to start every sentence with. I, God, 3 persons in one, 3 times 3. God will say to you, I am your this. You are my that. And by the way, this plus that knits together to make a multiple of 3. I just made a perfect gem right there. This plus that. Because his divides by 3. Ha, the way we laugh, in that divides by 3. And then you got 3 T's that make 60 perfectly. So this plus that. I am your this, you are my that. Say it, memorize it. I am your this, you are my that. That's God talking to you in a love relationship. Words are king. God's voice to you is the most important thing there is in this universe. Words are king. That's what God, when God speaks to us, he uses words. And God was saying to me, Derek, have I ever spoken to you in Hebrew? Have I ever spoken to you in Greek? He says, no, I've always spoken to you in English. Because English is the language of the Davidic Empire, which God swore would last forever. Listen to the Queen when she speaks. God is literally blessing the language of the Queen's English. Because she is the bloodline of King David, which God swore would last forever. And that is why English is the king language on the earth. That's why. That's why you honor and respect the Queen. And that's why we used to sing in public school, God save the Queen. And that's why that needs to come back, along with the Lord's Prayer. And by the way, all British English spelling is correct, mathematically. American English spelling is wrong. Watch all my videos, you'll get it. The word color needs the U to have maximum glory for the number 3, because then you have 6 letters, which is 3 plus 3. The number of strokes then divides by 3. And U is 21, came for the number 3. All the letters divide by 3 in color. You need to spell color with a U, thank you very much. Along with all the rest of the proper British spelling. I am your, you are my. And then this and that. Let's finish that off. We get gems. Wow. HS is 3 times 3 times 3, or 3 nines, and then I is 9, and then HI is another 9. That's love. We just found love in this and that, in the most obvious way possible. Wow. Sorry. 27 plus 9 plus 9. That adds to 45. Excuse me. But pure 9s. Okay? That always glorifies love. So we have 45 plus the 3 T's of 60 points equals 105. Well, that's genius, because that divides by 15 perfectly. So that divine phrase that we just came up with, that bumps the result up to 330 perfectly. So listen to what I say right now. It's going to add to 330, bang on the nose, to the glory of the Triune God. I am your this. You are my that. Perfect. Perfect. And it honestly fuels your soul with happiness when you say that. It absolutely fuels your soul with happiness when you say that. It is a divinely perfect phrase for the glory of the Trinity. The Bible says that from the fruit of your lips you will be satisfied. Well, you need to be precise in your speech. And yes, the word precise divides by 3. I am your this, you are my that. Say it right now, you'll get happy. I am your this, you are my that. I am your this, you are my that. I am your this, you are my that. Say it 3 times, now you got 990 points. I am your this, you are my that. It's the divinely ordained words of God. This is so huge, because it's all about identity. God will tell you about your identity and his identity far more than he'll tell you what to do. Because you are a son or a daughter. You're not a slave. A slave gets told what to do. A son gets told who they are. Okay? A servant gets commanded what to do. A daughter gets told who she is. God will speak about his identity, and he will speak about your identity far more than he'll command you to do things. So this is very precious that we've solved this and we're seeing this here. I just want to make sure you can see it all. As long as it's on the video, it's not large, but it's there. I just want everything on this video. We can maybe zoom in just a twitch. That's fine. It's the spoken words that matter. It's recorded. Man, this is so good because these are the words, these are the letters God has ordained to deliver his identity to us and to also deliver our identity to us. I am your this. You are my that. I am your Boaz. You are my Ruth. That's God talking to me, and wow. So let's add Boaz and Ruth to the party, because God has been revealing to me how personal names knit together to make multiples of 3. One of the first that God was showing me is that my first name knits together with every single first name of the people in my biological family to make a multiple of 3. Except my sister Helena, who divides by 3 all by herself. And she fits in with everyone. It's amazing. And so when the 3 oldest siblings were together, which was very common, Derek plus Curtis, my older brother, divides by 3, and then Helena divides by 3 all by herself. We were a threesome like crazy growing up. And then I knit together with my younger brother Jason and my younger brother Jonathan. I also knit together with my mother Agatha. I also knit together with my father Burkhard. And I also knit together with my niece and nephew named Abigail and Caleb, which are the first set of grandchildren of my parents. And it's just amazing. And the person who was ordained to give me this divine gift of $33 for my 33rd birthday, which we made this piece of art for, his name is Scott, and Derek plus Scott divides by 3. But my favorite of all is that Derek plus God divides by 3, and Derek plus Jesus divides by 3. That's my favorite of all. But Boaz plus Ruth, and God has been leading us, and I've woken up with names of people from my past on my mind that I discovered. My best friend Spencer, growing up, Spencer Hughes, Spencer plus Derek divides by 3. I also had a good friend named John Boucher. John plus Derek divides by 3. And the Lord was just flooding my brain with all these people in my life that their first name plus my first name divides by 3. And we were friends. We clicked. The most obvious to start people on is Adam plus Eve divides by 3. Equals 45, a triple of 15. And then from there, you can go nuts. Go nuts. You can start doing it with people in your own life. You can start doing it with people in world history. I've done it with famous marriages in the Bible. David plus Abigail. That was like the marriage couple made in heaven. Okay, so Boaz plus Ruth. What is that? I cannot stop saying how important this is. I am your this, you are my. And it's 3 words for each intro. I am your. You are my. It's all about identity. You have an inheritance not because of what you do, but because of who you are. God wants to deliver you from doing. Okay? And he wants you to believe who you are. Okay? Boaz plus Ruth. 27 plus 21 is 48, 66, 81. Oh my goodness. Boaz plus Ruth is 1, 1, 1. Perfectly. And I've done that before, but... So I am your Boaz, you are my Ruth. That will then add grandly to 336. It's so beautiful, it's gorgeous. So let's write that on the board. So that adds to 336, which is so obvious for the number 3, it's ridiculous. And it also divides by 8, so it divides by 24. 888 to the glory of Jesus equals 888. That is a divine set of letters from the living God to you, okay, as his son or daughter. I am your Boaz, you are my Ruth. Every story in the Bible is an indication of who God is, and then who he is towards us. The story of Ruth and Boaz is not, some kind of, encouraging human love get-together story. The story of Boaz and Ruth is God telling us who he is. And that's the way it always is. Everything should make you think of God first. Do not think of yourself first. Do not think of your human relationships first. Do not think of your spouse first, your family. Do not. Always think of God first. Always. Because that is what everything in the universe is for. The glory of God. Who he is. That is so key. That is one of the biggest gems of all time. I am your, you are my. Okay? Of course, you can say this spouse to spouse. This is a divine set of letters that you can say between spouses. A husband can say to her, can say to his wife, I am your husband, you are my wife, obviously. But these words belong to God first and foremost. They belong to God, and God will say them to you. I am your. Wait a second. Yes. And I just want to check that phrase, I am yours and you are mine. Well, that's going to make that a +1. And that's going to make that, okay, I don't know if that one works, but this was an obvious gem there. Okay. So I am your maker divided by 3, I am your husband divided by 3. Okay. These are a ton of awesome words from Jehovah. They all divide by 3. Prayers, supplications, requests, meditations. Lead to epiphanies, which divides by 3 from the inside out, letter by letter from the inside outward, the word epiphanies. It's just like the word harmonies. The center divides by 3, and every pair moving out divides by 3. So beautiful. What is an epiphany? It's another revelation of God's glory. Another revelation of who God is. More. And the word more divides by 3. Another gift from God. Another piece of knowledge about God that you hadn't seen before. Given to you. That's an epiphany. An epiphanies, because God is generous. So they all divide by 3. Prayers, supplications, requests, meditations, epiphanies. Why? Because God is generous. He gives us many prayers, many supplications, many requests, many meditations, and then many epiphanies. But all of these things are what lead to epiphanies. Do you want to hear more from God? Do you want to know and understand God more? You need to make lots of prayers, lots of supplications, lots of requests, and lots of meditations. Meditations in particular, I would say, is the most important because you need to listen and wait. The word offerings, these are also called offerings. Offerings divided by 3, and then offer up. To offer up prayers divides by 3. Offer up supplications. Have you ever wondered why there's those 2 words in the Bible? Prayers and supplications. Why do we need 2 words? Well, because God wants to show off more of his mathematical brilliance. Cries and shouts both divide by 3. I would recommend doing less of that in the church because I think it's far better for us to listen to God. It's too much of a self-expressive generation right now. Cries divides by 3, shouts divides by 3. You should just do whatever feels natural. So they all divide by 3. Cries, shouts, prayers, supplications, requests, meditations, offerings. And then that leads to epiphanies. The most important thing that God gives to us in response to our prayers is intimacy with him. And more revelations of who he is. And also what he thinks about us. And who we are in him. That is the most common thing that comes forth from meditations. It's the revelation of who God is and his love for us and who we are together with him. That's just it. It's love. God is love. Very rarely do we pray to God and he drops a dead piece of metal known as gold on our lap because it's worthless. It's meaningless. It's nothing for the human heart. It is dead. It is meaningless compared to love. Okay. And the more you know about God, the more he speaks to you, the more he shares himself with you, the more you fall in love with God. And that's the whole point. This is a divine word from the Lord. Read about Jehoshaphat. And then I got some gems to share from Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat as to 111 perfectly. Bookended, doubly bookended with multiples of 3, 30, and 6. And like nearly every syllable makes multiples of 3 all the way down. JE, 15. HOS, divides by 3. HA, 9. PH, 24. AT, 21. And then the phrase read about. Read about divides by 3 at 9 letters, it's 87, it equals truth. So God can tell you to read about so-and-so. So-and-so divides by 3 when you speak it, by the way. It's composed of 3 19s plus 2 O's. 15s. So-and-so. So in fact, so-and-so equals read about, equals truth. I love, we just get words from the Holy Ghost in real time. So-and-so. Yeah, so-and-so equals 87. Read about so-and-so. Read about 87. So-and-so, 87. Read about truth, 87, 87. Read about so-and-so truth, 87, 87, 87. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So read about Jehoshaphat. That all divides by 3. And so read about Jehoshaphat I did. And I found, and first of all, I solved the name Jehoshaphat, and I found some other cool gems. But the most important thing I got from the story of Jehoshaphat is, number one, that the word of Jehovah controls everything. And secondly, Jehoshaphat trusted in Jehovah alone. This is the story where Jehoshaphat cries out to God when there's an army of men coming at his kingdom. Jehoshaphat does not muster the truth. Jehoshaphat cries out to Jehovah alone, and Jehovah takes care of the whole thing and drives the enemies away. And in turn, Jehoshaphat gets a whole bunch of presents, and he gets gold and silver, and he gets all this stuff that just comes to him freely because he trusted in Jehovah alone. So I got this word from Jehovah, trust in me alone, and then he encourages me by saying, read about Jehoshaphat, the king who trusted in Jehovah alone. And I want to pull up that story right now. Oh, one last gem. Waitings. Meditations. Waitings. Okay. Divides by 3. Okay. Waiting on the Lord in meditations. You wait, and you just wait in silence until you... What I do is I'm lying on my bed. It's actually just a simple mattress, only this thick, and very missionary-like. Lying on my, but very comfortable, lying on my bed. I'll receive words from Jehovah, and I'll jump up, like I'll recognize the number in my head for the 3. Yes, it divides by 3. I'll jump up from my bed, grab this black Expo marker, and yes, Expo divides by 3, and marker divides by 3, and I'll simply write everything, I'll write the word up on the board. And then go back onto my bed and meditate some more, wait some more in silence. And then just keep getting more phrases until we have a board full like this, and now I'm making a movie on it. So let's just get a couple of the gems from the story of Jehoshaphat, which exists both in 1 Kings and 2 Chronicles, and you can do a search on it. And I'm going to probably dig some more gems out of this because I've just got some initial ones. But the most important thing is that he trusted in God alone. Okay, so I'm just going to get some of my gems that I highlighted from 1 Kings. So what I do is just simple color highlighting words and phrases that divide by 3 that are really obvious in this whole story. Okay. So I'm just going to rattle them off here. So Jehoshaphat equals 111. That's the most important thing, because God can't tell you to read about Jehoshaphat unless he says the name Jehoshaphat. Well, God insists that when he talks to me in English, that it mathematically glorify him. So when God says to me, Derek, read about Jehoshaphat, that word Jehoshaphat has to be mathematically perfect. And it is. Because God can't tell me to read about Jehoshaphat unless he says the name Jehoshaphat. That's why the name of everything is king. So Jehoshaphat, 111, 111. Inquire. This is a huge word in the story of Jehoshaphat, where they inquire of Jehovah through the prophet. There, I solved it in my book, in my Bible here. Inquire. You can see for yourself, the first 3 letters knit together to make 36, the next 3 letters all divide by 3, it's obvious. And then inquiring of Jehovah all divides by 3. Inquiring of Jehovah. It's probably the most important thing that is not being done by men at large on planet Earth today. No one is asking God. No one is waiting on God. No one is silent before God for long amounts of time expecting to hear his personal voice. And that's why lives are a joke, and that's why people aren't bearing any fruit, and that's why nothing is of any eternal value, and that's why our resources and our manpower is in all the wrong directions. Because no man is inquiring of Jehovah. The phrase, the King of Israel divides by 3. In case you were wondering why Israel doesn't divide by 3 and why King doesn't divide by 3, it's because they knit together with all sorts of words. The King of Israel. Jesus is the King of Israel. That divides by 3. God is the King of Israel. And then kings, plural, divides by 3 and on. So the King of Israel divides by 3. The word of Jehovah equals 183, which is Christ the Redeemer, Christo Redentor. I love, these are gorgeous English gems that are barely even being spoken at all anymore. This is huge. This is mathematical poetry at its highest level. Hasten hither. This is royal speech. This is speech that is fit for royalty. Hasten hither. If we had British kingly leadership that spoke with these divine letters, it is dripping with royalty and it is mathematically flawless. Hasten hither adds to 12 times 12 in 12 letters. Here it is, 1 Kings 22 verse 9. By the way, first divides by 3, and Kings divides by 3, second divides by 3, and Kings divides by 3. Read 1 Kings, read 2 Kings. It's an instruction manual for kingship. The Bible is a book for kings. If you want to be a pauper, don't read the Bible. If you want to be a king, read the Bible and know it like the back of your hand. Right here. In verse 9, no less, which is 3 times 3. Even the numbers are divinely ordained to glorify the Trinity. Hasten hither adds to 144 in 12 letters. 12 times 12 in 12 letters. And there's 6 letters for hasten and 6 letters for hither. And it's spoken by the King of Israel. Hasten hither. Hasten hither. Another way of saying that is come here, or bring here, we would say. But hasten hither is more glorious. Come here, those two words both divide by 3. In obvious fashion. Here, in fact, oh my goodness, yeah, come here is 36 plus 36. I got to put that on the board as well, because come here is the simplest pair of words to promote unity between two parties. God is all about unity. God is 3 persons of perfect intimacy. Come here. Watch this. Where should we put it? I'll just throw it right in here. Watch this. Come here is pure 18s. 18 for CO, 18 for ME, 18 for R, and 18 for HEE. So come is 36, and here is 36. Composed of a pair of 18s apiece. So come here is 18 plus 18 plus 18 plus 18 equals 72, a triple of triple eights. And then of course you have love there, because love is a triple of 18s. So you can take the last 3 18s to make love, or you can take the first 3 18s to make love, or you can take the first in the middle, you can take any of the 3 18s to make love, and then you get another 18 on top. So when someone says, come here, it should always be an expression of love. A husband to his wife, come here. I want to embrace you. It's an expression of love that glorifies the Trinity. Amazing. God can say this to you, of course. I believe that God can say this to you the moment you get into heaven. Come here. Do we have any reason to believe that the glory of English will not be around in heaven? That's another question. So hasten hither. Hasten hither. 12 times 12 and 12 letters. Hasten hither. And then why is the prophet referred to twice as the son of Imlah? Well, because Micaiah knits together with Imlah to make a multiple of 3. And then the son of, every word divides by 3. Now you know why there's so many of those in the Bible. It's God's way of just hammering 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 at us. You've read those portions of the Bible. It says, so-and-so, the son of, the son of, the son of. And then he was the son of, the son of, the son of. Well, because every word divides by 3. And then the plus of equals love. So God is just screaming out love, 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 love. Oh, how did all these sons get produced? Oh, through love between a man and a woman. Love, but the letters, love, love, love. The numbers are just love, love, love. So that's why there's these symphonies of genealogies in the Bible. It's God's way of just stringing together this pearl necklace of 3s that is so grand. And I testify, if you do the math on all the names that add up in those genealogies, you'll get so many 3s coming at you in perfect multiples that all knit together in this grand harmony of 3s. You've missed the greatest glory of the Bible if you skip over the genealogy. It's the mathematical glory of God. If you just want to take the son of 33 plus 48, that makes 81 right off the bat. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And then of is 21 with both letters dividing by 3. The son of. Okay? Adds to love plus son. The son of is son plus love. So why do we read? So here's the answer to the question here. Why does Micaiah the prophet not divide by 3? Well, because when he's introduced twice, twofold. Or right up here, he's introduced as Micaiah the son of Imlah. And again, down here, Micaiah the son of Imlah. Imlah must have been a very good man for them to, intentionally mention that. Well, the father's name plus the son's name knit together to make a multiple of 3. Just like I mentioned that God plus Derek divides by 3, and Derek plus Jesus divides by 3. It's all about relationships that God has ordained, okay, to bear his image as 3 in 1. Micaiah, the son of Imlah. So that